Well, hi there. I'm going to show you how to do my owl eye cast off, but first I want to show you what it looks like. And so I found a couple pieces that did it. I couldn't find any more of them right now. Who knows where they are. But anyway, I did it on this one. It's a nice flat bind off. It ended up with an interesting effect because the yarn changed color just when I did the the technique. So it ended up with this beautiful kind of scallop look. It's a very stretchy bind off. So it'll work at the end of any project that you want a really stretchy bind off. So it's a stretchy bind off. It's just as stretchy as the extra stretchy bind off, just so you know. This is the cast on that's so stretchy, and as you see it ended up blending with it really nice. Um, for the look I wanted, it's not the cast off I usually use with this, but there are times that you want to use this cast off. It could be that you're on a really long project, like on an infinity loom, and to do another cast off, you'd need a really long piece of yarn and it would be a nightmare. And I've done that. It takes forever. But with this, you're just casting off as you go. So it makes it really easy and you get that nice stretchy bind off that you'd want. It's quite a flat bind off. Just so you know that it doesn't look like the chain or anything like that. It's a flat bind off. And I do have a cast on that matches it pretty well. So I'll link that video in the comments when I've made that video. It might be out already by the time that this goes live, but we'll see. But I'll make sure that they're both linked to each other so that you know that they match up the best that I've seen. Okay, and so you can see it more here in the one color. It's just a nice flat stretchy cast off, and I cast it off here because it made it really easy to cast off as I did things with this purse. So it's also in the purse video, but that's all there is to it, and it's nice and stretchy everywhere that I did it. So I will take you to a video of how to do it. It's very easy to do. And yeah, you just do it as you go. Okay, so I will take you over there and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay. Okay, so I've done a row of purl, which I always do a row of purl before I do the owl eye bind off. And the reason, of course, is because I've spun my own yarn here. I'm not sure how strong it is, and the owl eye bind off is much easier on fragile yarn, and it's a nice bind off that's nice and stretchy. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to go over in a U-wrap and knit it off. Okay, and then I'm going to go over in a U-wrap and knit it off again. And then I'm going to move the yarn like that and put it on this peg and tighten it up a little bit and knit it off. And then I'm going to come over in a U-wrap, come back over it in a U-wrap again, pick it up, and you can stretch it nice and easy, gentle on the yarn, tighten it up, snug it up a little bit, and then come over. Whoops, knit this one off first. Then come over and come over again in another U-wrap, and then take it and move it over, snug it up, knit it off, come over it in a U-wrap, come back over it in another U-wrap, and take it, move it over, snug it up a bit, knit it off. Okay, and then we can look at it as it's coming off, and there it is. It's a nice flat bind off. Okay, now come over and do the U-wrap, do another U-wrap, bring it over, knit it over, U-wrap, U-wrap, get up, bring it over, and snug it a bit, knit it off. And I think you know how to do it. You just keep doing that. So I'm going to work a little bit further along, and then we'll catch up as I get closer to the end. Okay, I've got a lot further around, so now you can take more of a look at how the bind off looks. And I guess it's a little harder to see with this other color winding on in here, but it is a nice flat bind off. It has a nice stretch, quite stretchy. So it's a stretchy bind off. Okay, and it's nice and straight because I did that row of purl. It sits up nice and straight. It's okay, sits up fairly straight without the purl, but with the purl you never have to worry. It will always be a really, really nice cast off. And I have a bind on that matches it the best. So I'll be showing that one to you. But I quite like it, and it's especially good for when you're using a yarn that you're worried about it being fragile or fraying or looking all ratty, because it's easy on it. I really like the way it's looking with the different color yarns I have. It's almost a lacy thing here. I think this one will be the top because this stitch looks good either way. I think that will be the top. And this one looks nice too, but this is with the chain. If I'd used the cast on that matches it, it would match better, but this still, because it's a cowl and that will sit at the base and this will be up here, you're never going to notice that. So it didn't really matter to me, but you can use the one that matches it if you want. No problem. So it's my loom hook, and I had just knit that over, so I had to come over it. I'm barely going to have enough yarn here for this cast off. Just going to make it, I think. Yarn chicken. And then I do the owl eye on one peg over it. I take it and I tighten it and I knit off. And the reason I call this the owl eye cast off is owl eye on one peg. You do the U-wrap. Come around from the back like a backwards E-wrap, but you come over and U-wrap over it again. Okay, and then I go on here, tighten it, come over in a U-wrap, come over in a U-wrap, move it over, knit it over, come over in a U-wrap, in a U-wrap. Okay, knit it off, and then 2 knits here. It's almost like you're doing 3 knits in a way, because you're coming over, you're putting this here, knitting it off, coming over, and knitting it again. And knit it over, come over, over again, and over to the last peg. Put it on there, tighten it slightly, knit it over, come over. I'll come over my second time. Actually, I think just once. Let's see how that's going to be. Because I'm going to go under it again. That'll make the second knot. Because you've got to secure it. So I'm going to come under it. Like that. I had more yarn left than I thought. Normally you would cut this, but I don't have a whole lot of yarn left, so I'm not bothering. Be careful. That's yarn, it's wool, so it can felt itself as I go through. So tangle that. Get it to pull through. And I got to to do it again because I got I got the yarn kind of felted there. So what I'm going to do is I should cut it, but I'm just going to try to put the whole thing through anyway. Well, especially because I don't know where my scissors is right now. There, now I made sure to get it through. Okay, and then what you're going to do is just weave your end in at the end here. And here we go. That's what it looks like. So I'll just weave this end in and we'll come back and stretch it out and take a look at it. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I have it all bound off and you can see that this is just as stretchy as this is. So it gives you a nice stretchy bind off so that both your ends would be the same, even if you did use it with the crochet chain cast on. But it's a nice flat cast on. I like it. So, or cast off. I like it. So I will be doing the video of the cast on so that they can match better for anybody who wants to use it and is using a fragile yarn or a yarn, or they just like this cast off better because it just has its own look and it's nice and stretchy. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video.